Hi, my name is Malvika Sharan. I am the community manager of the Turing Way.
And I'm Laura Carter. I'm a PhD student at the University of Essex in the UK, and I'm a volunteer on the Turing Way. And today we're going to be talking about the Turing Way as a project to build a collaborative guide to ethical data science.
The Turing Way is an open source project that involves and supports its diverse community in making data science reproducible, ethical, collaborative, and inclusive for everyone. We believe that to make our project truly beneficial and comprehensible, we need to collaborate with people with diverse skills, backgrounds, and domain knowledge. As data scientists, we make decisions throughout the life cycle of our database projects. As scientists, we have a duty to ensure that our work meets the highest scientific standards. We also have an obligation to ensure that our work maintains the highest level of moral integrity, especially when it impacts people's lives. This impact on lives can be through the data we collect and use or through the data products we build. It can also be through the policies that we follow at our universities and the working condition that we create. The Turing Way is a collaborative book which was started by Kirsty Whitaker, and our moonshot goal is making reproducible, ethical, and inclusive data science too easy not to do. The book is based at the Alan Turing Institute, the UK's National Centre for Data Science and Artificial Intelligence. There are 5 guides in the Turing Way, covering topics in reproducibility, project design, communication, collaboration, and ethical research, as well as we provide a community handbook. And this talk focuses on the guide to ethical research.
The aim of the Guide to Ethical Research is to support data scientists and researchers who are using data science to work in an ethical way. We start from the position that as data science researchers, we have an obligation to consider the impact of our research. So far, contributors to the Guide for Ethical Research have contributed chapters on working with institutional ethics boards, the relationship between ethics and research integrity, and ethics in preclinical research. But we don't see ethics as a static or one-off part of the research. Ethical research includes recognizing where your data comes from and the impact of collecting and using it in your work. The Guide to Ethical Research also includes information on how to be an activist researcher. One of our most recent chapters is on how to advocate for policy change within your institution. If you don't like how something is done, you can change it. We include case studies on how to organise against unethical tech, such as the successful campaign against robo-debt in Australia. And we recognise that ethical research includes treating your colleagues and collaborators well. The Guide to Ethical Research includes information about workers' rights for scientific workers and information about how you can join and support a union yourself. Ethical data science research also includes making sure that ethical work is grounded within existing human rights frameworks. Human rights are defined in law. This means that in many ways they are less malleable than ethics. The laws governing human rights and the ways that they are implemented are agreed internationally. A violation of human rights is a violation wherever it happens in the world. And this isn't necessarily true of codes of ethics. An action that one group of people sees as ethical may be seen as unethical by others. There's a wider shared understanding of what human rights means across different countries, cultures, and groups of people, though it's important to recognise that the work required to respect, protect, and fulfil human rights looks different for different people. And that means it's important to listen to everybody about what being able to enjoy their human rights means to them. Making sure that research complies with human rights is not just about ensuring it doesn't harm. It can also be about doing work that is actively pro-rights. Researchers and data scientists should, in general, ensure that they respect, protect, and fulfill human rights. This means not doing work that itself is an abuse of human rights. It also means trying to ensure that the work they do can't be used by others in human rights violations or abuses. And it also means doing work that actively helps other people be able to enjoy all their human rights. Within the human rights framework, there are accountability and enforcement mechanisms, but because they're a legal framework, they're not as easily accessible and they're quite hard to apply to the daily work of data science and research, which is why for researchers, ethical guidance and codes can be a useful way to interpret and implement human rights in their work. And the Turing Way Guide to Ethical Research is based on these 3 principles. Ethical research respects, protects, and fulfills human rights.
We foster a culture of collaboration by ensuring that the collaboration is not defined just by the common goal, product, or the team, but we ensure that people are given the inclusive workspace that they need to perform their best, that they treat each other with kindness, abide by the code of conduct, know what roles they can take, and contribute to building diverse teams by explicitly opening ideas for contributions. We define pathways for collaboration that always require multiple people to support each other. For example, people are invited to develop and share resources through mentored contribution. We also create opportunities for people to maintain and improve resources, which could be as simple as fixing a broken link or a bug, or creating new resources of their interest. Contributors are also those who share their resources, review and update the existing chapters, and translate them in languages that ensure accessibility for a wider community. Finally, we encourage everyone to share best practices by highlighting their work. To represent different perspectives, it's important to us that the book is a community project, driven by the needs and wishes of the contributors and built with those needs in mind. We involve diverse voices and acknowledge all contributions fairly. We understand that if we do not recognize all contribution, we will end up disproportionately ignoring the hidden labor that a lot of people do, and especially those who are new to tech spaces. Often these people are members of marginalized groups who are historically excluded from open source and tech communities. As a community developed resource, the Turing Way Guide to Ethical Research is a work in progress. We'd like to invite you to become a contributor to the Turing Way, to help us develop chapters on data, human rights, and other topics that can help others to understand research ethics. We welcome all kinds of contributions. Case studies and lived experiences are welcome too. You don't need to have coding experience to contribute. You just need an idea and a willingness to learn.
We host community calls weekly. These are co-working calls, onboarding calls, or calls to just have discussions. You can find links to details to these calls and also the link to the slides that we are sharing today, as well as our emails by visiting the link bit.ly, which is bit.ly/Turingway, which is TURINGWAY, all in small caps. And you can reach out to us for any details you may need.
Thanks to Kirsty Whitaker for starting this project. All our resources are available online, and we are happy to share more details. Thank you.
Thank you.